Hey everyone, how's it going? Today is Friday, April, what is it, 3rd, I think? Anyway, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, where I am quarantining with Dan Martinez and Nicole Richard. And just want to do my weekly vlog, stay consistent, catch everybody up on some things. And yeah, I'm just going to jump into it. So I've been down here in Houston, I guess, for about a week. I think I came down last Thursday, or was it Friday? I don't remember, but it's going as well as can be expected. I actually made a rant a couple days ago, and I want to talk about it a little bit because I want to kind of clarify some things. So I got some negative feedback. I mentioned on this rant, and I first off I want to apologize. I want to apologize because I didn't communicate from a position of love. It was from a position of anger, and I was pissed off when I made that vlog. So first off, I want to say I'm sorry because I want everything that I do to be from love, from a spirit of love and concern for the other person. And it wasn't at the time. I was just mad. Actually, I've taken it down since. Anyway, so basically, just to clarify, I got some negative feedback because I came down to Houston, Texas, and I left Baltimore. So I got back from the UK. CDC recommended, they didn't tell me I had to. They said, try to stay away from people for 2 weeks. That's what they told us. When we got off the plane, I was in the airport. I was not wearing a mask. No one else was wearing a mask. It was like no big deal. Again, this is about 2 weeks ago. So originally the plan was to go to Bethany Beach for Nicole and I to quarantine there, but some things didn't work out for us to go there. So Nicole went back to Houston and I decided to quarantine in Baltimore. And for those of you that don't know, I live in a house with Craig Belinke's house with a guy I went to high school with. And I live there because I don't get paid by CityFam, and I've given a lot of time to CityFam and why waiting works, which is to build CityFam. So I live in this house that Craig lets me stay in for free while I build the organization, and I don't get paid. Unfortunately, I have a roommate, Rob Carr. Not unfortunate that I have a roommate, but unfortunate to me is I have a roommate that has to work, and he was considered essential. So this is the thing that people don't know that I didn't share because I just didn't feel like it was, people weren't on they didn't necessarily need to know. But Rob goes in and out every day. He was going in and out of work to work every day, being around people, going into people's houses for his job. And I asked Rob, and I said, hey, I said, look, at this point, if I'm not sick, which I didn't think I was, and I still don't think I am, I said, the only way that I could get sick is you, because you're going in and out. I said, would you be willing to strip down every day, when you come in, take your clothes off and go take a shower? Because I don't want you to, infect me if you come across this thing. Rob said, no, I won't do that, basically. So at that point, I had to make a decision to get out while the getting was good, because I did feel like things were going to get worse, and get to a place where people were actually quarantining and that I could also be productive. So being that I was just in the UK with Nicole for 30 days, I thought the best place for me to go would be to her house, because she's already, if I was sick, she was sick. So we could be, sick in the same house. And Dan Martinez lives in that house too, who's working heavily with me and with CityFam. So I made the educated and informed decision through lots of thought and prayer, which I, mentioned, I pray about everything that I do, to go to Houston before the shit hit the fan and things really started spreading, and I'd be too scared to go. So that's exactly what I did. I booked a flight and I went down there. So then I had people chattering about, that I left my house and went to Houston, when they didn't know that I had a person that was coming in and out of my house every day, and it was way more dangerous for me to stay in Baltimore. And in all honesty, the reason that I'm in the position that I'm in Baltimore, because is a lot has a lot to do with CityFam and basically the fact that I don't get paid. Because if I was working a job and not giving all my time to the organization, I could have gone out and got an apartment by now and been living alone, and I would have been fine to stay in Baltimore. But because I can't do that, I don't have the luxury of that. I had to make a decision and fly down here to a place that I was safe. So, while I do apologize for the spirit of that message because it was a little aggressive, I don't apologize for the fact that I made it, because, you know, City Fam, what I've given my life to is not this, you know, like basically, even though it's not a faith-based organization, City Fam isn't faith-based, it was built on Christian principles, okay? And what the word says is if you have a problem with someone, you go to that person, just you, okay? If I have a problem with you, I come to you. I don't talk to other people about it. I come to you and I talk to you about it. And then if you won't listen to me, then I go to you with another person, 2 or 3 it says, and then we confront you. And if you still won't listen, then you go with everybody. So what happened in this situation was a couple people made an assumption from an outside perspective, from the little bit that they could see from a picture on social media or maybe an Instagram story or whatever. And then they made an assumption and then they talked about it. And then that person, one of the people, sent a message to Nicole, the executive director, criticizing me and saying how they lost respect for me and what I do isn't essential and how there's more important things than City Fam and all this other stuff. That is not how you handle it, you know, especially if you're going to call yourself a Christian, because when you sign up for Christianity, you got to sign up for the whole thing. You can't just take certain things and leave certain things out. This is how the Bible says to handle conflict. And personally, I don't want to be part of an organization that has a bunch of people like chattering like that and gossiping. You know, that's not what I've given my life to build. And if me even making this video or the one before that costs us some people or some attendance at our events, then I'm okay with that. Honestly, I'd rather not have anybody at the events than be part of an organization like that. I could go back to the clubs, honestly, and get that, you know, like, even to be honest, even the people in the clubs, they might be a hot mess sometimes, but at least they're authentic. You know, at least you know what you're getting. I don't want to be part of an organization where people are talking about each other and not confronting problems. You know, that's not what City Fam is. The churches are full of hypocrites, which is why a lot of people don't like to go to church, because they're like, everybody's a hypocrite. And that's hypocritical behavior. If you see a problem, or you think you see a problem, which is what people thought in my case, go to the person, confront them, talk to them about it. Don't talk to other people about it. That's gossip, you know? So, you know, like if you're on a plane and a mask, and like, you know, there's a crash and the mask falls down, what do they tell you to do? They tell you to put the mask on yourself, and then you put the mask on the next person. So for me, I had to make sure that I was healthy, you know, that I was going to be healthy, staying protected from this coronavirus, and that I could get myself to a place where I could work, you know, where I could be in a good work environment with some other people that were on the team. And, you know, like I said, Dan and Nicole are part of City Fam. So for me, this was the safest place for me to go. You know, in response to one of the things that people said, you know, that what we are doing is not that important. Like, look, I don't think there's anything more important than what we're doing. You know, I mean, I look at this coronavirus and I see, you know, like people are panicking, they're anxious, they're freaking out, you know, and this is only a fraction of what it's going to be like when the rapture happens. Like, it's just a small taste of what it's going to be like. And what I look at City Fam is City Fam is building a boat. It's going to help a lot of people get through a storm that is coming. And there's nothing more important than that. You know, I think Epic Church, the church I go to, is great. I love that church, and I think they're doing great work. But nobody criticizes the pastors for going into the offices to film the Sunday service that's going to stream live. You know, we can't stop building, you know, regardless of what's going on. I'm up early every day here. I'm writing another book, and I'm working from after I work out, I'm working until 8 or 9 o'clock probably at night, every night. And then I get up and I do the same thing every day, building, working. So some people out there that are benefiting, honestly, from the sacrifices of a few people that have built this small boat that we have. We've cultivated a community now that's spreading across the entire world. And some of the people that are part of that community that have met each other because of the sacrifices of me and other people are chattering. And that's not the way to do this. The way to do this is grab a hammer and start swinging it. Figure out what you're passionate about, how you can contribute to us building a bigger boat, and start going to work, because that's what we need. So when I made that video and I said, hey, look, if you're complaining, it probably tells me that you're not doing enough. There's some truth in that, because when you're busy working, you don't have time to worry about how the guy next to you is swinging his hammer. You know, you're just swinging your hammer, knowing that there's a sense of urgency to this. Like, you guys are feeling just a taste of what it's going to be like. And you don't have to believe me. It's all in the Word. Look in Revelation. When the rapture happens, it's going to be hell on earth. The shit is going to hit the fan. And we're building a boat that's going to help people weather that storm. So please know that when I make decisions, it's always with a lot of thought. It's always with a lot of prayer. It's not careless or reckless. The reason that we have a city fam that is now in other parts of the world is because of the wise decisions of a few people. And I know that people like Billy Lofton and Jenny Quinn and Corliss and Nicole Richard and countless others, the organization that they've sacrificed so heavily for and gave their life to build and their time to build wasn't the way what I just mentioned wasn't indicative of an organization that they signed up for, and it's not the organization I want to be part of, again. So we are holed up here, no one's coming in or out. Fortunately, we have a nice little team unit where we're able to work together every day and be productive and kind of cook each other meals. I do feel sorry for people that are isolating alone, because I did it and it was super depressing. I'm grateful that I can be here with people that I enjoy being around and can work with, because we're building something very important. So Andrew Watson Lewis, what's up? How's it going, Tammy Marie? So, and just to cap all that off, I want to say one thing. It's like I have to create content again, because that is part of building the organization. As I have to vlog, we're going to start a podcast. I think I'm going to do my first podcast Monday or Tuesday next week. We'll probably do some Q&A, live Q&A with people, maybe in the Why Waiting Works group or wherever. But I have to create content, and the one thing I can't do is I can't manage people's assumptions. I try to, but I can't. You can't manage people's assumptions. So if anybody has any questions about anything that we're doing, reach out. I'd love to, tell you all about it. I'd love to get you involved, actually, because again, we need to build a big boat, and we need everybody's gifts and talents. So, yeah. All right. So changing gears. I saw a video yesterday where a guy was calling on the National Day of Repentance. I thought it was really interesting. Check it out. I think the YouTube video is called "Message for President Trump." It was pretty cool. But we have a Renegade tonight. It's our first virtual Renegade. It is tonight. We're going to be streaming it on Zoom but it'll be, if you go to the City Fam Facebook group, not the fan page, but the group page. I think there's about 1,300 members in there right now. Don't forget to get the dog supplies. People forget about getting the pets food that I had difficult time. Yes, yeah, stock up on everything. I would get dry goods, canned goods. I'd get as much as possible so you don't have to leave the house. If you can get it enough for 3 or 4 weeks, get it, and just stay in your house and do it, be safe. I think the most dangerous, we're gonna get to a place where it's gonna be dangerous to even leave. This shit is in the air and it's spreading so fast. Like, you don't want to get sick. I mean, and I think I'm pretty healthy and I'm not scared of dying, but if I get sick, I'm not going to be able to work. I'm not going to be able to be a cheerleader if need be for my friends that might need it. So, stay healthy. Anyway, so tonight we have a Renegade, and we're going to be doing a music trivia and we're gonna have a prize for the winner. So I think we can fit up to like 100 people on Zoom. It's at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 my time, but go to the City Fam group page and we will post the link to the event. Or you can actually just go to the City Fam fan page and the event's up there. So it's tonight. You'll get to meet people from all over the world that are part of City Fam. And again, we'll be doing music trivia for prizes. And the heart behind this is we want to help people stay connected through all this, because that's really the mission of City Fam, is to help people do life together. If you know me, a little bit about me by now, you probably know my backstory. I got out of the club scene, I became a Christian, and all of a sudden life got really boring. There was nothing to do and no one to do it with. And I was sitting around every night by myself. And I white knuckled it for several years, and then I went back to the bars because I couldn't stand being alone anymore. So this is City Fam was designed for this situation. Obviously it would be better if we could be together in person, but we can still do life together even if it is virtually. So that's the heart behind the Renegade and all the other things that we're doing, whether it's the workouts or the hobby night or the food and drink night or the movie night coming up on Monday. We have another movie night coming up on Monday. It's all about helping us get connected, stay connected, keeping people on a routine, helping them not fall into a place of hopelessness or depression, and just continue to become the best version of themselves in spite of a quarantine. What's up, Eric Gardner? How you doing, bro? So tonight, Renegade, 8:30 p.m., music trivia, prize for the winner. Okay. I'm actually leading a Truth About Sex virtual small group right now. I've already had 2 sessions. If you want to be part of it, you can jump in on the 3rd session, or I'll probably do another one when this ends. So it's based on my book. And I think there's about 70 people in the group right now. We've only had as many as like 25 people on the Zoom, but it's going really well. And we're just kind of, wrestling with the topics of the book. It's why it's called The Truth About Sex. So if you want to be part of that, you can request to join the private group, Truth About Sex virtual small group study, I think it's called. And if you want a free copy of my book, I'm giving it away now. You just have to pay for shipping and handling. You can go to whywaitingworks.net and you can get a free copy of the book, and you get lots of other bonuses too, like the ebook and the study guide and some other stuff. So check it out. If anybody's got any suggestions for the movie night on Monday, drop a comment. I'd love to know, what you guys would want to see. If there's anything out there, I don't know what new releases are out that I haven't seen, but maybe we'll get something new. Maybe we'll get something old. Last week was Indiana Jones, and actually we had some technical difficulties. So anyway, I won't get into that. But we're also going to do a service project within the next couple weeks, and it's going to be actually just stay tuned for details, because I know it's going to be something that we'll be able to do virtually, and we're going to be able to share hope with people. So you're going to be able to, like, for example, make a short video of yourself where you're dancing, or you're playing a ukulele if you're Nicole, or if you're doing karaoke if you're me, or something that we're going to be able to put it all into like this bundle, and we're going to send it out to people that might need some hope. So whether it's people in nursing homes or people that are isolated and alone, we'll have more details for that, but that's going to be our next service project. So you'll see details for that soon. So I think that's really it for this week. What the book is about. Tammy asked me earlier. So the book is called Go, with an exclamation point behind it. And the book is written, it's written for church. It's written to church people. And it's basically from, I think it's Luke 10, I think it is, where Jesus says, go. And he has an exclamation point behind it when he sends out the 72. And the thing is today is, like, church people, they don't go, right? We've fallen into this place where we say, come. We invite people to come to church with us, and we feel like we're in this place where we're no longer able to go out and be effective, and the responsibility doesn't even fall on us, is what most people think. We're like, I just got to get them to the building where the guy on the stage can share the message, and that's not what Jesus told us. He said, go. So, basically the book is going to be kind of challenge people. It's a wake-up call for them to say, hey, you're not doing this. And this is why the church isn't effective anymore. This is why nobody goes. This is why less than I think it's 94% of churches have 10 conversions or less per year. And that's why we have a loneliness epidemic and an opioid epidemic and all these problems that are in the world, is because the church is lazy, overall. And I don't mean the organization, I mean the church, which is the body of Christ, the members. They don't go. A lot of people just sit in the pews and they like to look all religious and they speak their Christianese to each other and they play church. And I'm like, get in the trenches. That's what Jesus told us to do. He said, go fish where the fish are. Go to the bars, bring people back. Don't invite them to you. If anybody's ever been fishing in their life, you don't try to get the fish to come to you. You fish where the fish are. But we don't do that anymore. And that's why we became less effective. And I don't know. So that's what the book is going to be about. And it's either going to make, people are going to be like, who the hell do you think you are? Ex-stripper boy? Or they'll be challenged. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm excited about it. I have a lot to say on the subject. I have a lot of frustration built up over the last several years with the church, because they're so in their box of the way they used to do it, and it doesn't work anymore. I'm like, I don't care how clever your saying is on your marquee, they're not coming. 82% of the population doesn't go to church in the United States. So I don't care how clever your marquee is or your marketing or whatever, for the most part, they ain't coming. So we need to go. So that's what it's going to be about. Chris, would you be willing to do a workout, a live workout on the City Fam group page one morning? Lead one, or maybe have one of your, actually, would you lead one, or maybe your brother? I'd take Jason if you won't do it. Jason, I would accept as a compromise. Let me know, Chris, for real. Text me or leave me a comment below. Let me know if you would lead a workout for us. I would really love that. So that's it. Hope everybody's crushing their quarantine. Go to the City Fam group page. We'll have lots more activities there. If you're already a member, try to get on the events. Invite your friends to them, especially people that really might be needing community right now. People that are potentially quarantined alone, or just people that may be going through something. Maybe they have a relative that's affected by this virus, and they need some a distraction, or just to keep their mind busy. So send them over to the City Fan page. We're going to continue to do events pretty much every day until we get through this. So that's it. Love you guys. See ya.